Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Oh, just that the court be aware that he doesn't have a significant criminal history. He made a mistake. He understands that, he acknowledges that. He just like the opportunity to make amends to society for what he did, and so he's asking the court to consider granting it for this case.
All right, so your attorney is saying you made a mistake. What mistake did you make, Mr. Dunbar?
Following the wrong crowd.
Oh, I'm sure the wrong crowd. I'm sure Benny Ray Crezo, Crezo Jr. is saying that he was following the wrong crowd and that was you. Mr. Dunbar, thank you for dressing appropriately.
Is that a Rembrandt in this?
No, that's the Lord's Supper behind him. And he has an attorney sitting on his desk. That's awesome. All right, Mr. Dunbar, if you'll unmute, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I think that's by Michael,
Angelo.
Michael D'Angelo, Michael,
Who did the?
yes.
Leonardo.
No, you're right, it's Leonardo da Vinci
Who does
who did the
Sistine
Chapel, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, if you see
That may
the-
be an original.
All right, then, if that's an original, then
Can't
your
get a
client may
photo.
have picked up another case. Because that's not supposed to be behind him.
It
Uh,
looks as big as the original. Yeah.
Mr. Dunbar, we know that's not the original Lord's Supper. You're good.
Maybe there was two originals.
Yeah. But no, you know, when I went to the Sistine Chapel,
I
that took a lot of work.
I said that because I know you went there.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
There you go. You know,
I mean, he was doing everything.
he had to do it on his back.
Yes, yeah.
But then,
You know, there was a group of 4 of them, extremely poor, but everybody was hiring them out to do different things, like sculpt, paint, do buildings, do everything. All right, so what's happening on this case? Did you receive an offer?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We got
Okay.
an offer today. So we can have a setting. I'll discuss the offer with my client, and quite sure we'll be able to resolve it.
All right, so we'll come back on July 30th. And Mr. Dunbar, are you in Bear County?
No, ma'am. I'm in Harris County, Houston, Texas.
All right, so what we'll do, if there's going to be an agreement or not an agreement, he can still appear by Zoom,
Yes, ma'am.
because I know Houston, that drive, nobody's doing anything with the traffic.
Okay.
All right, so we will see you back on July 30th, and it'll be by Zoom, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, don't do any self-surgery. All right, have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Judge.
You too.
All right, Mr. Dunbar, unmute, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're currently out of state. Why are your lights off? Power outage?
I think it's from Houston.
There you go.
All right, thank you. Just have a seat. A stationary place, please. All right, you're in Houston?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Cox, we're gonna recall this, and your client will need to be present in court if he is not able to fill out the paperwork for the plea by Zoom. Miss, you need to have a seat in the back. So do you think you'll be able to do paperwork by Zoom?
I can do the paperwork by Zoom if it comes to me and I can never seen.
All right, state. Dunbar, his paperwork is going to be done by Zoom, but I know we're extremely busy today, so it's not going to happen today. So, Mr. Cox, we can do it next week by Zoom?
Correct, about Tuesday.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Dunbar, it's going to be for a plea by Zoom. Ms. Ferguson needs your client's email address, and so did the state.
Yes, sir, I'll get it. Jesus. This is Hiroshima, what?
Yeah, you come with so much history. I love that.
Nagasaki.
Mr. Dunbar, your attorney is going to come back in. And I am going to see about sharing screen. Oh, just step back. Step back. We don't need to see your ear. Okay, let me see what I can do here. All right, I'm going to put you in breakout room number 2, Mr. Cox. You should be able to share your screen now.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a seat, please.
Hi, Mr. Dunbar, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Dunbar, we're gonna do what's called the swearing in over your plea paperwork, okay?
Okay.
All right, if you could raise your right hand for me. You are Christian Theodore Dunbar, the defendant in case number 2024 CR 5294.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Dunbar, did you have an opportunity with your attorney to go over your waiver, consent to stipulations, and its attachments?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear that everything is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature? And I know it's kind of small, but right here, did you sign electronically?
Yes.
As well as here on this card.
Yes.
Mr. Dunbar, did you also review your court's admonishments and your jury waiver stipulation?
Yes, ma'am.
Were your constitutional rights discussed with you and did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Were you advised that by signing this document today, you are entering into a plea and waiving a jury trial?
Yes.
Yep. And was that your intention today?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature right here?
Yes.
As well as both parts of your plea bargain here and here.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dunbar. You can put your hand down. I'm gonna put everything together.
All right, so the parties on Sergio Barrera, are you all ready?
We are ready, Judge.
What would it mean?
Mr. Dunbar, if you'll mute yourself for a moment, please. Court is calling 2024 CR 5294, State of Texas versus Christian Dunbar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Cornelius Cox.
And are you Mr. Dunbar?
Yes.
All right, defendant is appearing by Zoom. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dunbar, did you review the document entitled consent to appear by video with your attorney? Did you understand it and electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Dunbar, did you review application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dunbar, did you review the document entitled court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged by indictment with theft $2,500 to $30,000? That is a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication. If for any reason your deferred adjudication will revoke, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you
Yes,
understand?
ma'am.
Counsel, has your
Yes.
client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has sorry, I'm trying to do things. Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently, I'm sorry, just one moment. I'm trying to read this email that's just been sent to me about a case in here. All right. All right, Mr. Dunbar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution in 2024 CR 5294, which is this case, to Home Team Pest, PEST Defense. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there many such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years, that there be a TAP evaluation and 150 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
No objection.
All right. Was there an agreed amount of restitution or no?
No, I don't think there was a agreed amount.
If there was, Your Honor, I am not aware of it.
All right. Mr. Dunbar, did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to state you may be excused?
Thank
Did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
you understand it? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Oh, just that the court be aware that he doesn't have a significant criminal history. He made a mistake. He understands that. He acknowledges that. We just like the opportunity to make amends to society for what he did, and to so he's asking the court to consider granting him the deferred case.
All right, so your attorney is saying you made a mistake. What mistake did you make, Mr. Dunbar?
Fall in the wrong crowd.
Oh, I'm sure the wrong crowd. I'm sure Benny Ray Crezo, Crezo Jr. is saying that he was following the wrong crowd and that was you. So how did following the wrong crowd result into catalytic converters being in your vehicle, in your girlfriend's vehicle?
Just being young and trying to figure out ways to get money without trying to get a job. Just, not thinking.
How old are you?
21 now. At the time I was at 19.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's a good thing. So did you receive your high school diploma?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what are you doing with that?
With my high school diploma?
I mean, yes. What are your plans? Are you just like, hey, I have my high school diploma celebration, I'm done? What are your plans? Are you
No,
employed?
my plans is to work and build a foundation and build an empire. But with this case, I've been working jobs, getting fired because of the case. So it's like I'm just trying to get this over with so I can pursue my life and take care of what I need to take care of.
All right. So what jobs have you been getting?
I worked at the railroad. I worked at the airport. What's that word? Well, really both of those jobs, and I got let go for both of those because of my case.
All right. So did you tell them about this case when
And,
they were
and then
hired?
I tried to get a new job recently, but they denied me for my background check.
All right. So the other two jobs that you have, did you tell the airport and the railroad, hey, I have this pending case?
Yes, they conducted a background check, but I don't know. I guess they gave me a certain amount of days to bring back some papers or something like that to saying I haven't been convicted, but it was kind of hard for me to get that. So
All right. This is what the court is going to do. 2 years deferred adjudication, $2,000 fine, probated, restitution, if any, to home team pest defense, no contact with Benny Ray Crezo Jr., proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider with minors, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Is he going to be in Houston?
Oh, yes.
yes,
All right. What county is that?
Harris.
Okay, transfer to Harris County. I'm always thinking it's Travis. I don't know why.
I don't know much about Texas with it. I know it's Harris. Travis.
All right, Mr. Florida. All right, transfer to Harris County. Field visits. 1 time per month. For 3 months. And if I could, I would give you community service hours where you work and take off catalytic converters and then return them. Or that somebody comes by your house and takes off your catalytic converters. People, why are you playing with your hair? People don't understand how expensive that is for people when they come out and their catalytic converter is gone. I don't know why people's fallback is, let me steal. I'm young, I'm dumb, I don't know what I'm doing, let me steal. And I know your mom or somebody probably taught you not to steal. I don't know why he's giving me attitude, but okay. We're gonna adjust that attitude. It's gonna be 150 hours of community service restitution. You're gonna do that community service hours. And he's gonna do CATs 1 and 2. Probation, is there anything else?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be
I got a
successful?
question. I got a question. May I speak?
My question for you is there anything else you need in order to be successful on probation? From the court?
Yes. When you say attitude, what
What do you need to be successful on probation? Do you need
Nothing.
anger management?
I don't need anything.
Do you need me to add another class for you to be successful?
No, ma'am, I don't need anything else.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and electronically sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you've waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Abrams? Do you need to speak to him by Zoom?
I do, Judge. Please, I've joined the Zoom meeting.
All right, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with probation. They'll go over conditions with you.
Okay.
So go to breakout room number 1. And Mr. Cox, if you would like to join them, you can.
Okay. I'll join.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
And,
welcome. Young people,
Sometimes when they express themselves, and I'm not standing next to them,
oh, no,
is sometimes the communication, I don't think in any of my dealings with him that he's ever been disrespectful to me or to the court. He's
I
always,
appreciate you saying that.
yeah, he's always,
Because sometimes young people, like you say, they're like,
you know, sometimes communication thing. So I don't think that he would have done anything intentionally.
"Oh, I know you wouldn't have allowed that, Mr. Cox. I appreciate that.
All right.
I
thank you, Judge.
appreciate you, Mr. Cox. Although people say that Florida Gators are not gonna do anything.
Oh, can't wait till we play Texas. Judge. Wait. That's right.
Jason, Mr. Cox said he can't wait till Florida plays Texas.